A story of hope and success. Sometimes it's wisdom. Every choice you make today writes your tomorrow. Enjoy the story. Amara was 26 years old, but every morning felt exactly the same. She woke before sunrise, boarded crowded buses, worked long hours, and returned home completely exhausted. Every month ended the same way, with barely enough money to pay her bills. Whenever she opened her phone, someone else was celebrating another achievement. One friend bought a new car. Another opened a successful business. Someone else had traveled abroad, but deep inside, she felt like life had forgotten her. She couldn't understand why everyone else kept moving forward while she remained in the same place. Her grandfather had always believed in her, even when she stopped believing in herself. He often told her, "Your greatest enemy isn't failure, it's waiting for the perfect moment." At the time, Amara never understood what those words truly meant. One evening, after another long day at work, Amara looked at her payslip. Despite working so hard, she was still struggling. She knew something had to change. After weeks of thinking and praying, she made one of the hardest decisions of her life. She resigned from her job, determined to build a better future for herself. Instead of going to the office every morning, Amara stayed home and started taking small online freelance jobs. The income wasn't much, but it helped her pay her bills while she searched for a bigger opportunity. Every day, Amara sat by her window with her laptop, completing online jobs and earning just enough to survive. It wasn't the life she dreamed of. It gave her something she hadn't felt in years. Late every night, she filled notebook after notebook with business ideas. Her biggest dream was to open a small neighborhood cafe, where people could enjoy fresh coffee, homemade pastries, and a warm, welcoming atmosphere. Some days she questioned whether leaving her job had been the right decision. The fear of failure was real, but the thought of living the same life forever frightened her even more. Whenever doubt filled her heart, she remembered her grandfather's words, "Your greatest enemy isn't failure, it's waiting for the perfect moment." Those words gave her the courage to keep moving. One quiet evening, after finishing another online job, Amara looked around her small apartment and sighed. "It's been a long time since I visited Grandpa's old house." Hoping to clear her mind, she decided to visit. The house was quiet, covered in dust, reconnect with memories that they shared, yet it still felt warm and familiar. She began cleaning one room after another until she reached his study. While searching an old wooden cabinet, she discovered a small dusty box. Inside were 2 sealed envelopes with a handwritten note rested beside them. "My dear Amara, if you're reading this, I am no longer with. Open the first envelope when life you to give up. Open the first envelope when life convinces you to give up. Open the second only after you've changed, not after you've become rich." Confused, Amara slipped the envelopes into her bag and went home. Weeks later, she decided to pursue her dream of opening a small neighborhood cafe. She spent days creating a business plan and applied for a small business grant. For the first time in years, she truly believed her life was about to change. Then the email arrived. "We regret to inform you, your application was unsuccessful." The rejection broke her heart. That night, she looked at the first envelope. With trembling hands, she slowly opened it. Inside was only one sentence: "The life you want is hidden inside the habits you avoid." She expected money, a secret, a shortcut, but instead she received a lesson. For days, words echoed in her mind. She finally stopped asking why life was unfair. Instead, she asked herself what needed to change. She began waking up 1 hour earlier every morning.
She replaced endless scrolling with books and online business courses. Every evening, she learned something new about running a cafe.
She saved a little money every single week. Some days she wanted to quit, but she refused to stop. People laughed at her dream. One close friend even said, "Dreams don't pay bills." But she kept showing up every single day. When she had finally saved enough money, she rented a tiny shop and bought a second-hand coffee machine. She baked simple pastries every morning and welcomed every customer with a warm smile. The first few days were painfully quiet, but she refused to lose hope. Then her first customer returned. The next day, another customer came back. Soon, happy customers, her little cafe slowly became one of the neighborhood's favorite places. She hired her first employee, then another. 1 year later, the dream she once thought impossible had become reality. People called her an overnight success, but they never saw the early mornings, the sacrifices, and the countless tears she shed when no one was watching. Amara remembered the second envelope. She held it in her hand several minutes before finally opening it. Inside was a letter from her grandfather. His familiar handwriting instantly brought tears to her eyes. "My dear Amara, I never left you money because money disappeared. I left you wisdom because wisdom creates everything else. If you are reading this, it means you have already become stronger than you were yesterday. Remember, success isn't measured by what you own, but by who you become while chasing your dreams. Never let comfort steal your purpose. Never let fear decide your future. Keep learning, keep serving people, and never stop growing." She placed the 2 envelopes inside a small frame and hung them on the wall of her room, where they reminded her every day of how far she had come. Whenever young people asked her how she became successful, she would simply point to the framed envelopes and say, "My life changed the day I changed my habits." Her story inspired countless people. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start building the future you truly desire, one small step at a time.
As Amara locked the cafe that evening, she looked up at the sky, smiled, and whispered, "Thank you, Grandpa. Your future is shaped by the choices you make. Start now."
Success is not built in a single day. It is built someone today. Never stop believing, growing, one story and becoming. See you next time.